We do have a lot of money. We may never work again and just enjoy life.
Yes!
Mikey, how are you doing?
I'm doing great too.
Yeah.
And look, my family even has a house. So that's all I'm gonna ask for.
Who would have thought we'd have houses across the street from each other? But you can tell who's got the most money. After all, my house is made of gold, while yours is made of dirt. And I'm very interested to see what you have inside.
Well, then let me show you how I do it
Whoa.
cool. After all, my family and I have put a lot of effort into making the house inside pleasant to live in. As you can see, the first floor is completely made for relaxing.
To be honest, you don't have a lot of stuff. I thought you'd have at least a few different rooms, but I should have guessed from this house that the owners didn't have the money to do a good job.
What?
And by the way, it looks like it's time for me to go. And I need to think about what I want to do. I don't have to work after all. So why don't I go to a clothing store? I've been wanting to buy something new for a long time.
Yes.
And the best way to do that is with an expensive car.
Daddy, can we go for a ride with you? It's been so long since I've ridden in your car, so at least take me along. Mom's staying home.
I think you can get to that store on your own. After all, my car isn't designed for a lot of people. Oh, and by the way, I almost forgot I have to fill up the car, because then I'm not gonna get very far.
I don't know what you have in mind,
What the-
but we're coming with you because you need to look after your family. And don't worry, we'll fit somehow. So you just got to drive safe.
Well, I'm not having any fun as usual. So, yeah, we're all going to the store together, but I'm gonna pick everything out by myself. That's it. I've made it to the clothing store, which means I'm gonna pick out something nice. And I think I need clothes that go with my expensive car.
Yes.
So it's gonna be a tough choice. And how glad I am that I'll be picking everything myself. So it's party time. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to give you a lot of money in advance, so I'm going to do everything myself from now on. And you can continue to do your own thing. So what should I choose? Overall, I like all the stuff they sell here, so I'll just buy whatever I like. And then at home, I can choose something specific, and the rest, I can just throw away. I have so much money. Still, now I should go into the fitting room and put something on, because I'm gonna need it.
How cool we look now.
Hey.
Daddy, thank you so much for buying us costumes. Now we definitely look like we have a lot of money.
Yes.
You know, I was thinking we could use some new clothes.
Yeah.
And since we don't have any money, let's just pick them up off the street. It's not like anybody needs them anyway. And those clothes look fine to me.
Dad, are you sure it's okay for us to sneak into this territory? There's a fence for a reason. Although if we don't do anything, it's gonna look really bad.
No
And I'm sure everyone will laugh.
I think you're paying too much attention to someone else. So don't worry, everything's gonna be fine. And I think I've already figured out how we can get there. We just need a little parkour to help us. Honestly, I never thought we'd have to work so hard to get clothes. But it's a lot better than buying them at a high-priced store. We'd rather buy more food with the money we save.
Don't you think we should just find a way to make more money? Look at JJ. He's doing well. And he even had enough money to build a gold house.
I can't do that to him, because he's my friend and it's not nice to take money from him. Look, I'm gonna be able to get to those things pretty soon. All I have to do is jump to that ladder and I'll be fine. So just wait. I'm sure I'll be able to do what I'm planning. And just as I thought, it was very easy. So now there's nothing stopping me from picking up these beautiful costumes.
Ouch!
And by the way, we're gonna look just like the JJ family.
So the money will come to us. Who knows? Maybe this is the beginning of something bigger. So now each of you needs to change into this costume. Whoa! That didn't look very nice to me. It's like we stole these clothes.
What?
I figured we'd need another car now, because mine's cool, but it's not much of a city car. So now I want a car that's really expensive and suitable for city driving.
Let me offer you a car you definitely can't refuse,
What the?
because no one in this town has a car like this. And I'm talking about the red Ferrari that's in my store.
You know, I like your suggestion. And even though this car is more of a sports car, I want to be the only one who has it. So I'm buying this car. And you can keep the change for the good advice. How cool this car looks after all.
Yes.
I think when I show it to Mikey, he's gonna be really jealous. And by the way, he's supposed to get a car too. So he and I could have a little race.
What's that cool car standing there? I didn't think there'd be an expensive car in this neighborhood. And since we don't have the money for our own car, I suggest you steal it. I don't think anybody's gonna call the cops on us. Problem is, I need a key to start it. So I'm gonna have to break into this house. And that's where it gets dangerous. Because if I do anything wrong, it could set off the alarm, and then I could go to jail.
Dad, I think you're gonna do great.
Seriously?
It's not the first time you've stolen something. But are you sure going in the front door is a good idea? If I were you, I'd think of something better.
You're right. I chose the wrong tactic from the beginning. And now I've figured out how I can get into the house. The thing is, there's a sewer line. And since I have a pickaxe, I can get in. And from there, I can get up into the house. We just have to hope there aren't any monsters or traps below. Because I'm not really ready to go through all that yet. I don't think there's anything like that in the channeling. So follow me. Although I can already see that there are books scattered on the floor, which means we may encounter a castle on our way. Just as I thought, that's what I didn't want to see the most. And if there was a JJ, it would be a lot easier. Maybe we should just leave.
Mikey, don't you want to just try to solve all the examples yourself?
Really?
I realize you've seen JJ do it many times, so you should have learned by now too.
Yeah.
I think you can do it.
All right, I'll try to do it myself. But you should realize that it will take me much longer to solve the example. So in the meantime, you listen to me so no one comes back to the house. Because if we're spotted, it's gonna be very bad. That's it. It's time for me to start solving the examples. And I'm gonna do everything in my power to open that door. Because if I do, we're gonna have a very cool car. It's gonna be even cooler than JJ's, and that's what counts.
Dad, I don't want to rush you,
What?
but I think I heard some voices. So there's a chance someone's back in the house. Although, maybe I'm just imagining things. But you're still trying to solve.
Don't worry, I'm almost done.
Yeah.
So now we'll have access to this house. And I hope I can find the keys quickly, because I'm doing all this for them. And by the way, I think I should go into the house alone so you guys don't get in the way. Now all I have to do is enter the combination and the door will open.
Yep.
I've waited a long time for this moment. But now I'll get the key. That's it. I'm inside. And I'm guessing the owner of the car is home, because I can hear someone sleeping. And it's just my bad luck that the keys are in the same room. Well, I should be able to steal them and drive the car away.
Yeah.
I can't wait to test drive this car, because it's supposed to be very powerful. Who knows? Maybe I'll have a chance to beat JJ in the race. Unless, of course, he's bought himself a new car. That's it. Now I'm only a couple of meters away from the Cloys, and it took me a long time to get those keys. Looks like I could have stolen another car a lot faster, but I wanted this one. Now I gotta get out of this house as fast as I can before some security camera picks me up. And the problem is, the doors are even locked from the inside, so I need to either find a key or break down a door or a window.
Mikey, don't you think the keys to the door should be in the very right place?
Seriously?
So look near the laptop. I think that's where the villager might have left them.
Yeah.
It's so good that you decided to come up to the house too. If it wasn't for your advice, I'd be looking for that key for a long time. Now we can get out and get in the car, and then we can drive all over town and be happy. What a comfortable interior this car has, and it's much nicer than JJ's car.
Hello, I did the whole house cleaning as you requested.
Whoa.
So I'd appreciate it if you'd give me some money.
Thank you so much. I always appreciate those who help me, so of course I'll give you the money. Now let's all go inside and have a good time, because money today is just made for relaxing. By the way, what's that noise? I understand there's been an attack somewhere near our house, and I thought it couldn't just happen here. It's a very expensive neighborhood, so there's not even any burglars on the streets, although I do know one. I better go and check it out for myself, because there's a chance I can help the police. I was a longtime investigator for a reason, so there's a chance I can find the culprit. Good afternoon. What happened here?
Looks like someone broke into the house in the middle of the day and stole the car keys.
Oh no!
And then the car was stolen too. And we have no way of knowing who did it because there's so little evidence.
You just think there's not enough evidence. In fact, I might even be able to figure out where this thug went. So let me do this, and you can get some rest. You don't have the easiest job in town after all. And the key to the door is already a big clue. And that's because it might have whoever did its fingerprints on it. And by the way, I did catch a glimpse of the pickaxe. And it's kind of weird that it's lying there. So I'm gonna have to mark that as evidence too. Well, now I can understand someone trying to open the door and failing. So the burglar decided to dig his way into the sewer and get into the house. Why he threw away the keys is unclear to me.
Daddy, I didn't know you used to be a slobbermonger. Now I know how you got so much money. You were probably just good at solving cases, right?
Yes.
Then you can solve this one too.
You're right. There's no way I couldn't find the robber. And in fact, I already knew from the hat who I'd have to find. Problem is, I don't know where Mikey is right now, so it's not gonna be easy. But to make it right, I'll mark the hat as evidence too, and then I can move on. After all, the sooner I can find Mikey, the sooner I can get my reward and go home again.
Are you sure you can find Mikey fast enough? I mean, he's in a car right now, so there's no way of knowing where he'll be. You guys are old friends though, so you should know that.
Look, it's the same car someone stole. And judging by the fact that it's right outside Mikey's house, we can tell that Mikey is the thief. By the way, I don't think there used to be a big wall, so I definitely need to get inside.
JJ, just please be careful out there, because if anything goes wrong, Mikey can grab you, and I don't think you can beat him on his turf.
Somehow, I'm sure I'll be fine. So you can just wait for me at our house. But if anyone wants to play spy, you can follow me. I mean, we'll do it discreetly anyway, so we won't be noticed. Strange, it looks like there's no one in the house yet, but that's even better, because now I can check all the rooms and make sure Mikey's the one who stole the car.
JJ, I think you have the wrong house a little bit, because I live here. And since you've already figured it out, I can't let you go.
Looks like Mikey knocked me out after all, which is too bad, because now I don't know where I am. But it looks like it's some kind of prison, and I need to get out of it as fast as I can. It's a shame my family came after me. Still, now I have to save not only myself, but them too, and that's going to take me a little longer. Anyway, I shouldn't think about it for now, just try to get out, and I can already see one option. The problem is, I'm not tall enough to jump to the partition between the cells, so I should get an item chest or something else. Too bad Mikey took everything I had. I think I saw a small passage and something that looked like a chest somewhere around here, so I'm gonna have to check it out. And yeah, it's exactly like I said. Now I just have to hope I can find something useful in there. Well, I'm about to see what's in here, and who would have thought it would be a harpoon? I'm so glad I found it. Now I'm sure I'll be able to get over the wall, and I hope I'm not doing it all for nothing. Now I should waste no time and sneak into the next cell as quickly as possible. By the way, I sure hope Mikey doesn't come to check on us, because if he sees what I'm doing here, there's no way I'm going to escape. Well, that's it. I made the move. The only problem is, there's nothing but a water hole. Although I think if I dive into it, I can get into another chamber, so I should at least try to make it. Ideally, of course, I want to find a room with lots of different useful tools or blocks for me, but even if it's sand and gunpowder, I'm fine with that. And who would have thought that that would be the case? Now I can make dynamite and get out of here real quick, but that's only if I do it right. So first, I need to get more wood, because without a workbench, I can't do anything. And I'm really curious how much dynamite I can make with what I have, because there's a lot of sand here, but not much gunpowder. But something tells me I'm gonna make more than one block, and that's the most important thing right now. And since I've already made a shovel, I can start mining for sand. And I made the shovel for a reason. It would have taken me a long time to get the sand by hand, and I realize I don't have any time. I also want to get back at Mikey for what he did so badly, because today was supposed to be my day off. Instead, I'm trying to break out of prison, and even though I have so much money... By the way, as I recall, Mikey had a rocket launcher. I haven't figured out what to do with one of those yet. I could buy a tank and completely destroy his house, but that would take me a long time, and I want to destroy it fast. Looks like that's it. I'm a lot closer to getting out of here. So now all I have to do is combine the materials to get the dynamite, and then I'm gonna blow it up and get out right away. And let's not forget, I still have to make a lighter. It's a good thing this chamber even has silicon and iron. I can use them to make a lighter and get out of here. I'll also get my son and my girlfriend. I'm also very lucky there's water here, because if I jump into it, I won't take any damage from the explosion, but my family won't be so lucky. But I think they'll still be able to survive. So just wait, I'll be right there. By the way, if that prison is right in the basement of Mikey's house, I should do things fast, because after the explosion, Mikey's gonna realize I escaped and try to stop me. Either way, I'm not going back. That's it, I'm free now. So now I have to get to my family as soon as possible and free them. I hope they've come to their senses by now. No, they're still lying there.
Thank you so much for not giving up on us and getting us out of jail. But what are we gonna do now? I think we should find Mikey and destroy him. Although that's a long way off.
You're right, it's not gonna be as easy as I thought. And who would ever think of putting a test strip in here? We can only hope that the trials will be few and far between. So follow me. To be honest, I thought the first test would be a little easier, but in the end, we have to jump on logs that spin. And if one of us falls, we have to start over, so you have to be very careful.
Don't worry, we'll be fine. And by the way, I think this is basically the only test. So all we have to do is pass it and we'll definitely be free. And if we don't, I'm just gonna sit here.
Let's see what's waiting for me behind that door. And judging by the screams, it's Mikey. Who'd have thought he'd have so much gold and jewelry in here?
What?
Mikey, is there anything you want to tell me? I'm ready to destroy you.
JJ, how did you make it out? Although I know you very well, you can escape from anywhere. All right, I'm sorry. I was wrong. But now I need your help. And of course, I'll share the gold with you.
Why I don't really trust you right now, but I'm still willing to help you. After all, you're my friend, and I don't want you to go to jail, so let's do it together. And by the way, I'm gonna take most of the gold.
I'm not gonna argue with you. Now let's take everything and get as far out of town as we can.